The Audacious Life of Stanley Clifford Weyman. One of the greatest fraudsters of the 20th century, Stanley Clifford Weyman, November 25, 1890, August 27, 1960, was an American fraudster who impersonated public officials, including the United States Secretary of State and various military officials. Weyman was born Stephen Jacob Weinberg, on November 25, 1890, in Brooklyn, New York. His family could not afford his college tuition. He worked mostly menial jobs, but occasionally pretended to be someone higher up on the social ladder. In addition to impersonating naval and military officials, journalists, and the real U.S. Secretary of State, he also orchestrated a meeting between an Afghan princess and U.S. President Warren Harding. In 1921, Afghanistan and Britain were negotiating a peace treaty, and Princess Fatima of Afghanistan was visiting the U.S. However, the U.S. government would not acknowledge his official presence. So what did Weyman do? Posing as a State Department liaison officer, he visited Princess Fatima and promised to arrange a meeting between her and President Harding. All he asked was for the State Department to give him $10,000. But here, where most scammers would take the money and run, Weyman kept his word. He used the $10,000 to pay for first-class transportation and accommodations for the princess, then lied his way up the chain of command at the White House until he reached the president. When the press published his photograph with the princess and the president, he was recognized and arrested. Why did he do this? Just to see if he could do it. In 1954, Weyman tried to get a $5,000 home improvement loan for a non-existent house. He failed to convince a judge that he was insane. In August 1960, Weyman was fatally shot while trying to stop a robbery at a hotel where he worked as a night watchman in New York City. The detective who led the investigation said, "I had known about the man's record for years. He had done many things in his life, but this time he did something brave." Unlike most crooks, Weyman wasn't in it for the money. He wanted the adventure, famously saying, "A man's life is a dull thing. I've lived many lives. I'm never bored." This was the story of Stanley Clifford Weyman. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Crazy History for more fascinating tales.